My world came undone the day I lost my job, and with it, the illusion of love I thought would weather any storm in a matter of hours. I saw not just the end of my career, but the unraveling of a marriage I once believed was built on mutual respect and affection. I'm Ethan Caldwell, a 39-year-old software consultant, and until recently, I thought I had it all: a thriving career, a beautiful wife, a modern home just outside Portland, our little kingdom carved from ambition and intimacy. I met Lena 8 years ago at a tech conference in San Francisco. Amid a sea of posturing professionals and overstated pitches, she stood out with a quiet kind of poise and a curious spark in her eyes. An interior designer with a sharp wit and a touch of elegance, she seemed refreshingly genuine. We clicked over cocktails and conversation, and within a year, we were married. At the time, I held a senior position at a rapidly growing tech firm and was cultivating a side business of my own. Lena seemed indifferent to my earnings, more drawn to the late-night takeout dinners, our shared Spotify playlists, and long drives with no destination. But love, I've learned, is easy when life is, and life turned quickly. Last autumn, a massive cyber attack hit my company. I dove in headfirst, trying to salvage what I could: client relationships, data integrity, team morale, but it wasn't enough. They started letting people go, and despite my years of leadership, I was among them. I came home late that night, exhausted and heavy with the weight of uncertainty. When I told Lena the news, I didn't expect a celebration, but what I got chilled me. She looked at me, blinked once, and asked, "So what now? You're unemployed?" Her tone was flat, clinical, almost bored. I assured her it was temporary, that I'd bounce back, but she didn't even let me finish. "Ethan," she said, "I didn't marry someone to carry them through failure." The next morning, she sat across from me at the kitchen island, sipping her oat milk latte like it was any other day. Only this time, she delivered her lines like a script rehearsed in a mirror. "I've spoken to a lawyer. I want a divorce. I need someone who doesn't lose their footing when things go sideways." I was stunned. Just a few days earlier, we'd been planning a summer trip to Lake Tahoe. Now she was erasing 8 years of shared life with the swipe of a sentence. "I lost a job, Lena. Not my drive, not my value," I said. But she was already emotionally packed, her exit choreographed. "We'll sell the house," she added coolly. "Split the assets. Clean break." Only there was one thing she didn't know. Before we got married, I'd insisted on a prenuptial agreement. It wasn't out of mistrust, I just knew too many colleagues who'd watched their hard-earned empires gutted in bitter splits. Lena signed it easily, thinking I had little to protect. What she never realized was that nearly everything we owned, our home, both cars, 3 investment properties, even our joint accounts, were either in my name or held under my LLC. She had never looked closely. She just assumed. For 2 weeks, I said nothing. I let her believe she held the upper hand. She even started packing, bringing her brother to help box up her half of the life we'd built. I moved into the guest room, quiet, composed, waiting. Then came the day of the legal meeting. Lena arrived in full armor, designer heels, oversized sunglasses, and a calculated air of indifference. Her lawyer, a smug man named Victor, wore a grin that said he thought this would be quick and lucrative. My attorney, Mr. Grayson, was in his 60s, silver-haired, sharp as obsidian. He spread out the documents and simply said, "These detail the asset structures. Please review them carefully." Victor barely glanced before announcing, "We'll be seeking half." Mr. Grayson didn't flinch. "That's not possible," he replied evenly. "All assets are either premarital, inherited, or held under my client's LLC, the home your client resides in. The accounts she's drawn from, they all fall outside the bounds of marital distribution, under the terms of the prenup she signed." Victor faltered. Lena grabbed the paperwork, her expression shifting from irritation to panic as she scanned the pages. This isn't right," she stammered. "It's entirely correct," I said calmly. "You wanted a clean break. Here it is." She turned to me, her voice rising. "You tricked me. I didn't raise mine." "No, Lena. You tricked yourself. You thought I'd always be your safety net. You thought you could walk away when things got hard and still keep the comfort you'd grown used to. But you never really saw me not for what I'd built or what I was worth. Then Mr. Grayson delivered the final card. There's one more document, he said, sliding over an envelope. Inside was a signed lease agreement dated a week before Lena filed for divorce. The unit, a downtown apartment she was already sharing with a man named Derek. His name had appeared once on a suspicious transaction from our joint account, but she'd dismissed him as a design client. Now I knew better. I leaned in. I lost my job. But you'd already replaced me, hadn't you? She opened her mouth, but nothing came out. I hope he's generous, I added, because you're leaving with the same things you came in with and a reputation you'll never reclaim. I left her sitting in silence, her lawyer leafing through pages for a loophole he'd never find. 2 months later, I launched my own tech consultancy, Ironclad Solutions, built with savings Lena never even knew I had. I signed a government contract within weeks. My income tripled. I rehired former colleagues and began operating on my terms, free from red tape and emotional deadweight. Lena called once, leaving a single voicemail. I made a mistake. Ethan, can we talk? I didn't answer. I changed my number. 3 months later, business was booming. My name was circulating again, this time in investor circles, cybersecurity panels, media blurbs. And then, right on cue, she resurfaced. Can we grab coffee? I just want closure. Followed by, you said you loved me. Doesn't that still mean something? The desperation bled through every message. Derek was a mistake. I was confused. Who's the woman in your profile picture? Is she why you're ignoring me? I chuckled. That woman was Sarah, Mr. Grayson's assistant. We weren't involved, though I'll admit I brought her to a tech summit gala for one reason. I knew Lena would be there, and she was clinging to Derek like a prized handbag. She froze the moment she saw me walk in with Sarah, dressed in a sharp navy suit, a quiet confidence in every step. She stormed over. This is low, she hissed. You brought her to spite me. I didn't blink. Lena, you tried to destroy my business. You posted lies, forged rumors. You wanted to drag me down because I didn't fall apart without you. And now you want what closure? She raised her voice, drawing attention. You can't prove any of that. That's when I showed her, on my phone, screenshots of the anonymous posts traced to Derek's apartment, timestamps matching her social media check-ins, the digital fingerprints of her sabotage. The room quieted. I build cybersecurity systems for a living, I said. I am the proof. Turning to Derek, I added, by the way, your employer's legal team has been informed. They're reviewing your ethics clause. 1 week later, he was fired. His company couldn't risk the liability. Lena tried again, calls, texts, even flowers left at my office. When that didn't work, she went darker. But the court reviewed the digital evidence and issued a restraining order. Any further contact would carry criminal consequences. Now, I live alone in a condo overlooking the Columbia River. Quiet, modern. Mine, Sarah, and I meet for coffee sometimes. Maybe there's something there. Maybe not. Either way, I'm not looking for someone to complete me. I've already rebuilt what matters with firewalls stronger than code. My past didn't break me. It refined me.